Oh, freedom! No, gotta get out of all this crazy afternoon traffic. Yeah, on a motorcycle! Oh yeah. So at this intersection once, there was a giant box van like right here, and I was coming up and the light was green, but everybody was stopped because it was like this, right? If you went forward, you'd block the intersection. And the stupid little dog. And so I'm cruising along, I'm going about 5 miles an hour, you know, real careful because I couldn't see around that truck, the big box truck. And I creep up to the big box truck, kind of like this, you know, and this guy just comes running right through here and just goes smack into me and knocks me over. So, you know, I basically got hit by a pedestrian. It was really, really weird. Definitely a strange experience. So the guy was cool at first, you know. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, dude. It was my bad. Light was red, all that." And he gave me his ID and his phone number, but he never, you know, he never responded or anything like that. And then I actually, you know, the SD card of my phone died, and so I lost his picture of his ID. So guy lucked out. He did about $500 of damage in my bike, and I couldn't track him down. So kind of crappy. Because I have so much ground to cover, it's crazy for me to drive. Like I had, or I still have, this old BMW, and it gets, you know, I love it to death. 6-speed, with the V8, super fun to drive. It's a 1995 E34, pretty rare car too, but it gets just abysmal mileage because it's old, it's a V8, you know, all those things. Looked like that guy's mirror got taken out by a motorcycle. Whoa. Yeah? Oh man. Okay, so I have this old car, and I would have to drive like 100 miles a day sometimes, and to cover that in that old car, it really added up. I mean, my gas bills were, you know, what I'd be spending on gas every month was, you know, $400 or more. And so that's just crazy, man. I mean, there's no reason. And most of the customers I'm meeting with, I mean, I live in San Francisco. Like, unless I'm meeting with somebody in the financial district or something like that, like, they don't wear suits. It's just not an SF thing. Opportunity! Alright, so on the ramp opposite of this, so the one that comes from 101 and loops into this mess over here, yeah, you can see people piling up right up there. One time I was on my way to work, or I was on my way to Emeryville actually, and somebody had spun their car and was facing backwards the wrong way on that thing, like crashed into the wall and spun around. Like, I don't even know how that's possible on that turn, but they managed. Oh man, traffic is bad. On that same day, I got to the Bay Bridge, and there was some incredible accident. It was like 3 cars, one of them had flipped over, and it blocked 4 lanes of the bridge, and it happened like, you know, 5 minutes or so before I got there. So the traffic buildup you know, like there was a huge pile of traffic, and then all the emergency vehicles were trying to rush past, and everybody was trying to squeeze and let them pass, and then the second they passed, people would try to rush to be behind them so that they could get farther ahead in the congestion. It was just like the lines on the road meant nothing. Like everything was a cluster. It was incredible. Definitely a weird and bad place to be on a motorcycle. But I mean, all things considered, like riding in the Bay Area, obviously 101 is like a bad place to be just because there's so much bad traffic, and it's sudden bad traffic, right? You know, it'll just stop. And, you know, I witnessed an accident like 2 or 3 days ago where it was a 4-car pileup, and the front of one of the cars, like it rear-ended another, was just wrecked. Oh man, I can't fit. Come on. But for the most part, riding in the Bay Area, with the exception of 101, is like pretty damn chill. I mean, all things considered, because people are really aware of bikers for the most part, or well, motorcyclists, bicyclists are a whole nother thing. Screw those guys. So before us is wonderful little hipster heaven, Hayes Valley. It's filled with all sorts of, you know, really cute and overpriced restaurants. But there's the really cool beer garden place right there. There's nice outdoor seating, and they have lots of beer on tap, and it's really chill. But the place is slammed all the time. Also, straight ahead, you can kind of see it. There's a little orange lighting. It's Smitten. It's an old shipping container that they do ice cream that's liquid nitrogen frozen. So I don't really understand the whole process, but the ice cream is super good. Super, super good. So this is wonderful Fell Street right here that is more or less a freeway with people parking on the side of it. It's a mess typically. It's because, you know, back in 1948, they proposed all the freeway routing for the city, and dude, it was like, I'll have to I'll have to put the map up. It's incredible. Like, this was going to be a raised double-decker freeway up until Golden Gate Park, and it would split and have a freeway straddle either side of the park. You know, obviously some of you guys who are older probably remember Interstate 480. That was the Embarcadero freeway that went around. Obviously it was a ginormous eyesore, but it was going to loop and go through Chinatown, through the Broadway Tunnel, and all that, and then connect up to 101, which was going to be a freeway going through the city where Van Ness Avenue was, or is, and then go to the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, this city would have had an unbelievable amount of freeways networking it all over the place, and it would have, I think it would have really ruined the city in a lot of ways, because if you look where the freeways are in San Francisco, where 101 goes across, goes over the top of the city, where 280 goes on top of the city, like, those are some of the worst areas of town. And there's got to be some sort of correlation about that. You know, you've got the freeways, and they're really an eyesore, and people like live under them and things like that, and it really degrades the neighborhoods when you do that. So if this was like this would be a giant freeway right now, and I think that would have really made a lot of the area around here, would have lowered the property values and really degraded the neighborhood. Granted, not having those freeways makes a lot of these areas relatively inaccessible. For example, like the outer Sunset, like way out there, you really have to, like, your commute is just as long as if you lived, say, in Berkeley or something like that. Yeah? Oh, I could intercom with them. They have the Senna thingies too. I feel like those mirrors just look like really derpy, like, dog ears hanging off the front of buses. Especially the big ones like that. Alright. Yeah. Hipster on a skateboard. You don't want to park here? Yeah, let's park here. I love that people think this is a red zone. It's not. It's a faded red zone. No, but for serious. Alright. Oh. I love riding without a backpack or having anything to carry with me. See, that is the business attire of the era. But most people don't look that stupid.